Hi, this is the Market Doll Queen, and today I just want to go over a quick little equity trade. So some of you that are newbies can kind of understand the basic premise of what you're trying to do. Now, I'm looking at ALF, A-L-F, and it had news today, and it actually released the news pre-market. And here on my Thinkorswim program, the gray shaded area is after hours and pre-market, and the black shaded areas are during the trading session. This has halted already today, and it halted right here. And then it gapped up when it became unhalted. It's done a nice pop. It's gone all the way to 659. And I entered just a teeny little position. If you see that right there, I actually can right click that and duplicate the drawing, and then I can move it. And there you go. So I just bought 5 shares, and I mark here on the chart right where I bought in. So I can tell at a glance, just by looking at it, if I'm up or down on the position. Now for me, I love the Bollinger Bands. I can't stress this enough. If you can't handle a lot of indicators, if they overwhelm your eyeballs, I get it. You can totally eliminate all the rest of those and go just off of the Bollinger Bands and volume. You really need volume always. You need to know what's going on. And I also have time and sales turned on over here on the right-hand side. This way I know what size everyone is buying, what's the going mark. As you can see, I'm looking quite nice right now. I got in at 415. It's 580 right about now. I do still love the looks of it. I can go ahead and sell it right now. Right click it and go ahead and hit sell. Hit the sell button. I can hit how many I want to sell. I can hit how much I want to sell it for. Just click that off. But I'm letting it ride more. And the reason I'm letting it ride more is because of a couple of other indicators. Right now, the white dotted line always on my charts is always the center VWAP line. I get rid of the outer bands of VWAP. That's just a little bit too much nonsense. I've got the Bollinger Bands to tell me where the action is. Also, I have is the EMA ribbon. Now, the EMA ribbon default comes in various shades of yellows and golds. And I just find those colors a little bit too close to each other, so it's hard for me to tell when one crosses over another. But this way, since I've colored it like a rainbow, I can always tell that a bullish trend is with the red EMA on the bottom, and the bearish trend is the purple up here, would be on the bottom. And that would be when this EMA ribbon flips. Now, I like that. Now, of course, I can go on here and I can go right to studies, and I can take out my my ribbon. So I'll go ahead and remove it right there. Apply. Hit OK. And now my ribbon is gone. Some people don't like the ribbon. It's a little bit too confusing. But if you need a bare bones chart, I highly recommend Bollinger Bands and VWAP. Honestly, as long as the candle action stays up above VWAP, stays up above the center of the Bollinger Bands, that is also there. Bollinger Bands have 3 lines on them. In fact, we can right-click it and edit the study of the Bollinger Bands and click on that. And it'll go ahead and show you right here. Now the default setting has the lower and the upper band of different colors. I don't like that. I like them to match. That way I know what the hell I'm looking at. So I go ahead and I leave it there. Now I will say for the lower band, we're going to remove the plot, the bubble, and the title, and the upper band, the plot, the bubble, and the title. And it will be all these little price markers right over here. Those will disappear. Hit apply, and boom, there they're gone. Now the midline, we still have, and let me hit OK, and we can show you that. Well, wait, I did a bad thing. I still need to go back to Tools, and I need the upper band to show the plot. Hit apply, hit OK, and there's one. This is the plot. You see that? That's the upper band. That's what they're showing you right there. Now I got to go back in, go back to Tools for the Bollinger Band, go back to the lower band and show plot, hit OK, hit apply, and then OK. And there we go. We are back to our bands. Now, as you can see, it is still breaking out. Look at this big green boner right here. My next favorite indicator, anyone that knows me is associated with looking at any of my charts knows that I am a big fan of the TTM Squeeze. This is the total default setting of the TTM Squeeze. I have not adjusted it at all. I am looking at ALF, ALF right now, and the time in sales are frozen. You see that? The ask is at 548, and the bid is at 10. Telltale sign of a halt. We are in a halt. So right now, I'm going to mark this. This is where we entered halt number 2. Hit OK, and there it is. Halt number 1 was right here. So as you can see, we are in a halt right now, which is very good for my measly little 5-share position. And the reason I did 5 shares is because a lot of you have hit me up in Messenger and in the DM, and you tell me you have a teeny weeny account. You don't have hardly anything. You feel like a small mouse in a big field. I don't care if you have $20. Okay, you see that right there, right? 5 times 4 is $20. Okay, a little over $20, but you get my drift. Even a small position can make you money. So I'm already up nicely. If I got in at 415 and it's at 668 right now in this halt, this is a volatility halt. This sucker's going to fly. As you can see down here, the MACD, I really like the MACD. I don't overwhelm my charts with a lot of different indicators. I try to keep to the same indicators. That way I become I become more and more accustomed to reading how they react with each other. Because if one indicator has got you unsure of a trend or direction, then two indicators might help you decide better, or three might even be better than that. So even on my bare bones chart, with nothing else more than the Bollinger Bands and VWAP right there, because these are lower studies. This is the TTM Squeeze, and I will tell you, the higher and the bigger these light blue bars go climbing up the escalator, because it's not even climbing stairs now. It's going to start taking the elevator up. The volume is going to kick in. Retail traders know this sucker has been halted twice now. It's a low float. And when there's a low float and high demand, this can just go parabolic. This is my pre-market train, and I got into this just so I can make a little video on how to get your feet wet with a small amount of money on a simple equity trade. Let me look at this. Let's go to, just so you know, I am running Thinkorswim right here. It's free to use for anybody. You can set up the charts. I have plenty of videos for that. Right now, I'm going to see, nope, Alpha has no options. The quickest way to find out if your ticker trades with options is to just go to the trade button right there. So now I'll go back to the chart right there, and that's where we sit. Now when this halts, and here we go, unhalted, and look at the volume pumping in. Time and sales pounding. Is it a red candle? It is. It is. It is. But my upper Bollinger Band is still pointing up. Even Thinkorswim is having a hard time catching up with the sales. Everyone has queued their buys, their sells. They were all loaded up in queue, and the minute it unhalted, it's like releasing a plug in a dam. Only so many can get through at a time, and then we see where we go from there. There's a slight sell-off. It's down to 650-ish. Now I could go ahead and choose to sell right here and just be happy I'm up a couple of dollars. That was a beautiful trade. And I do still like it. But if I hover my mouse over the VWAP right there, it's still kicking a little bit northeast. The Bollinger Bands, look at the upper one, just shooting for the moon, Alice. Straight for the moon. The bottom one, kind of going sideways. Now I'm paying attention. The center of my Bollinger Bands is coinciding with the upper candle action going on up there. Remember what I said. The higher the candles go up above VWAP and up above the upper Bollinger Bands, the more bullish the trend. Now, if they go below VWAP, below the center Bollinger Band, and start heading in this area between VWAP and the lower Bollinger, then we're on a bearish decline. But right as we sit, we look good. Now, if I wanted to, like I said, I can go ahead and, hold on a minute. You can go ahead and click on your button down here at, see that? That's where it's at. And I got filled, extended hours, and then I could go ahead and I can right click this. I can create an alert. I can create an opposite order, an opposite trade. Thinkorswim is just amazing with the tools that they give you to use. We are starting to get into a sell-off right here. As you can see, it's down to about 633. Level 2 is stacked. This is what we mean when we say level 2 is stacked. Bid and ask is just pounding. Look how long it goes. Time and sales over here. Just a zoom. Now we've got 2 red bearish candles. Let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. As you can see, we've got VWAP now kicking over more horizontal. And that in itself right there, I can go ahead and choose to close out my position. And I would be just fine to do that. I still love the TTM Squeeze. Let me squeeze that down. I do love that. And as my Thinkorswim struggles to catch up with the volume on this, I mean, we're really struggling here. Okay, now we dip below. We're down to 625. We can go ahead and go ahead and do the right click. You can go ahead and sell my position, and I would want to edit this because I have 5 of them. So 5 of them. Oh, and look at it go. And then you would hit that, and it would be day. Now remember, if you do a pre-market or after hours purchase, buy or sell here on Thinkorswim, make sure you hit extended hours right there, okay? And then you would hit confirm and send, and then a confirm window would show up, and look at it just popping right there. And I got it sell right there at 6:30, and I don't want to do that, so I'm going to delete it. I was just showing you how to do it. I'm going to go ahead and let this ride out some more because I still like the looks of my TTM Squeeze. Now my MACD, and look at the volume. We do have some sell-off coming in right here, and I pay attention to when light blue turns to dark blue. Dark blue can indicate a slight decline in volume and momentum. And there's our first blue bar. And look at it dropping down below 620. We are now at about 615 to 620. I still like the looks of this. VWAP is right at, you just hover your mouse right over there, and the crosshairs all the way over to the right-hand side will give you the price, and all the way down at the bottom will give you the time at the crosshairs. So where VWAP is right here is about 570. I wouldn't want it to get lower than that, because this is a good trade in play. If it free falls with any kind of force, they will do another volatility halt, and it will be, a halt to the downside. This is just a beautiful example of a simple equity trade. Now, in order to do the simple things that I've done, you right-click anywhere on your chart. You can edit your drawings. You can remove old drawings. You can buy and sell from here. You can add studies. Always remember that right click gets you all your stuff. Down here are your tools and drawing sets. The first four are pretty popular. That's your pan, like this. Here's your pointer. This is your trend line, and this is your price level. So if I was to touch on the price level and then click right there, and it just shows you the price level of 572. And that's where VWAP is, and that's the level I wanted to look at. If I don't like it there anymore, always remember, right click, remove the drawing. No. There we go. And it's removed. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. Like I said, I do want to sell this. I'm looking at this as a day trade today. Now, there was news on it this morning, pre-market, and that's why I chose it for a pre-market alert. They got a huge digital tablet order for Uber and Lyft, massive. And this is a low float ticker, meaning there are only a small amount of shares available for trade. All of this means kaboom. So we've got 3.8 million of a tradable float. And we are now, if this keeps up right here, I'm going to say we almost have three black crows, which means a bearish trend to the downside. Now, I do have the bottom Bollinger Band curling back up. Now, this is important because if the top band and the bottom band start to contract on each other, it means volume and momentum are slowing down, just like they did right there when they were contracted. That's like no volume at all. And then they went kaboom. And then they contracted a little bit. And then they went kaboom. And now we're looking for it to contract. And now we have our second dark blue TTM Squeeze. We keep our eyes on that. And the MACD looks about to cross over to the downside. It doesn't mean that this is going to continue to be a bearish trend. This could be just a fluctuation because there's no such thing as stocks only going up. As you can see, they go up, and then they go sideways, and then they go up, and then they go sideways or down. They go up, they go down. It's just a matter of the ebb and flow of natural trading. I hope this helped you figure out the basic premise of a simple equity trade. Like I said, I could sell it today. I could sell it right now and be up over $2. Over $2. Got it? 50% gains. The percentage gains is where it's at. That's how you grow your account. Hope this helped you. And till next time.